much involved in the action out there today. So alongside me, Trevor Francis. Trevor, your thoughts on how this game is going to shape up?
Well, it's interesting to see how Napoli are going to line up. I think that they'll probably leave Corrado, the lone player, in a forward position and look to support him from midfield. The emphasis is quite clearly on Inter to come and try and attack. They'll be looking for the 2 points, but I was thinking Napoli's case, they'll be very, very satisfied coming to San Siro. Always a difficult place to get a result. They'll be happy with the draw.
Napoli in the all-red strip today. That first defeat of the season. How will they recover from that in this intimidating atmosphere in the San Siro? It's Brehme who's been drafted into the starting lineup in place of Padovano then. Ranieri, the coach, leaving Padovano on the bench. Brehme came on last week and had 1 or 2 impressive moments against Juventus. So he's in his place in the first 11. Here's Brehme, one of the 3 Germans in the Inter side, the engine room of Internazionale. That was Fontolan's pass. Tall, rangy-looking striker. They're wearing the number 11 shirt. It's almost like a new signing, having him in the team. He missed all of last season because of injury. That's Berti. Whacked away by Ferrara, the Napoli captain. Brehme's throw towards Klinsmann, who stretched but couldn't quite reach it. And Brehme able to whack it clear. Alamao wearing 5 for Napoli today. Starting off on the left-hand side, but he patrolled the right a fair amount against Juventus in the second half, certainly. Such a talented player, Alamao. Much will depend on his performance in the central area for Napoli today. Nonchalantly forward. It goes Zola. Dispossessed though by Berti. Napoli to Brehme, former Verona player. Alamao. Now Corrado. And the whistle's gone. Play held up for free kick to Inter. And a few hearts skipped a beat then.
Yes, you mentioned that Alamao played in a right-sided role last week. I think that role today has been taken by Crippa. I think he'll be doing a holding role there, trying to prevent Brehme from breaking forward on that left-hand side. I think Alamao would be certainly wasted in that role because he's got such good attacking qualities.
Yes, they'll be looking for the positive skills of Alamao today. Crippa, who missed that match through suspension last week. So he's back on the right-hand side. And the shot well saved then. Matthaus going on. And Galli, well, looks cool enough, doesn't he? Thunderous shot then by Matthaus. So dangerous with those forceful runs through from midfield. But Galli equal to it.
There you saw the problem of just playing with one up. Corrado winning a good ball in the air from the kick out from Galli. Flicking it on there, but absolutely nobody to get the flick on. He certainly needs much closer support than what he's getting at the moment.
They had a bit of a problem really, Napoli, finding the right partner up front for Corrado. Used to be Carnevali, of course, and then Salenzi came, but he didn't quite fit the bill. And Padovano hasn't proved the answer yet either. And today, well, they're playing just with Corrado right up front, hoping to push the likes of Alamao and Napoli through from midfield, and Zola, of course. Now here's Crippa. There's Napoli. Zola. Napoli swapping their passes well here. Zola just cut out though by Brehme. Now Matthaus linking up with his German teammates. Now Bergomi. And Brehme all the way back to Walter Zenga. Zenga still very much the #1 goalkeeper for Italy, although under a bit of pressure from Paliuca from Storia. And of course at the other end, Galli, the man who was Italy's first choice goalkeeper before Walter Zenga, back in the World Cup of '86. Free kick to Napoli for the foul on Zola. So much resting on his slight frame today. The man they call Marazzola, taking over Diego Maradona's mantle, which is no easy task. What have you made of him so far that you've seen of him, Philip?
Very impressed with him. I felt that it was very, very difficult, as you say, taking over from Maradona. But he looks a great talent. Does his work from deeper areas. You can't really play him as a front player because doesn't have electric pace. But he certainly comes from deep, and he's always a problem, you know, for the opposition to pick him up.
That was Ferrara there for Napoli. Ferrara, current Italian international. Zola hoping that he'll be one soon. The next squad is due to be announced fairly soon by Arrigo Sacchi, the new coach. So it'll be interesting to see if Zola's in the lineup.
It's always interesting, the tactics. You'd have thought perhaps that with Inter weakened at the back, I would think, without Ferri, the normal sort of player who plays alongside Bergomi, very experienced Italian international, that perhaps Napoli would have pushed someone else forward to support Careca. But their intentions are quite clear. They're going to try and get as many players in midfield as possible, and I would think their intentions are to get a draw.
Crippa. Now Zola. Given away though. Down goes Fontolan, and then a crunching tackle by Baggio, by Berti rather. A bad tackle too on Corrado, and a yellow card for Nicola Berti.
Yes, you can have no complaints about that. It was a bad challenge. Quite rightly, the referee is showing the yellow card. But he's a bit impetuous, isn't he, Berti? We've seen him on a number of occasions. Blows hot and cold. Very talented player, great athlete. But he does seem to get himself regularly involved with referees. It's not the first time we've seen him booked.
Seems to let his enthusiasm get the better of him too many times, really. Berti, very talented player, no question about that. The referee today, incidentally, Piero Cicciarini from Livorno. So Ferrara back in the action, and Napoli, away we go with the free kick. Little flick off it by Zola, very intelligently done. He has some marvellous touches, Zola, but he couldn't get the better of Brehme. One or two unkind bobbles so far. Now Klinsmann turning well. Berti into the game, and that'll be a free kick just outside the penalty area for the foul on Fontolan, who's very much on trial really in this Inter side. They've told him, if you do well, you'll hang on to that number 11 shirt, which of course was worn by Serena last season. He's moved on to Milan. So a real chance here for Inter.
Yes, I wouldn't think Galli's overjoyed at having to face a free kick from that sort of distance. They don't want to be giving too many free kicks away from that era, because we know the threat from Matthaus.
Yes, we saw that last season. And Matthaus is lining up the free kick. Bianchi was the player just standing in the wall. There is Matthaus, and it almost got through. May well have come off Pescedo there. But his shooting power is so venomous, Lothar Matthaus. Absolutely lethal from that sort of range. And here is the European Footballer of the Year, Lothar Matthaus, now taking the corner. There's some pressure on the Napoli goal here. He's though by Galli, collecting that one without too much trouble. Very experienced and confident goalkeeper, of course, Galli. 33 years old now. And the most experienced player in the Serie A in Italy. Brehme with a throw then for Inter. Strong early flourish from the home side. Fontolan, it's a good turn. But away from Ferrara. whipping over the cross and away to safety. 10 minutes gone, no score, but Inter dominating the early stages, as we expected really, with this formation that Napoli have put out. Just the one outright striker. They've made their intentions pretty clear. Brehme. Now Bianchi was onside. Now block. Just about guarding it back to Galli. It goes Brehme once more. Dispossessed though by dell'Inter-Napoli. Here's Fontolan. And it was Corrado who got a foot in, and then the foul on Crippa. Card. Brehme.
I sympathise with Brehme quite clearly. Good challenge, took the ball. Really, the referee has made a mistake.
Well, the referee, in fairness, had no hesitation at all. To his mind, that was a bad tackle, and he has punished it with a yellow card for Brehme. Now, Pacheco. Alamao. Baggio got it well. Here's Matthaus. The game being played at quite a pace at the moment. There's Brehme. So dangerous for those long balls that he knocks in. And as you say, Trevor, it's a question really of the likes of Crippa keeping Brehme quiet down that left flank.
Yes, I feel that the Inter side, they rely so much on the three West German players, Brehme, Matthaus and Klinsmann. But it's interesting that, was it 5 games played so far, or 6 games played this season? They've only scored 1 goal between them. And that's what I feel is slightly lacking at the moment on the Inter side, a regular supply of goals. That long goal, of course, was scored from Matthaus, and that was from the penalty spot.
Yes, Klinsmann yet to score, Brehme yet to score. And Ranieri's team here under the cosh at the moment. Baggio in a midfield role today. They brought in Montanari into the defensive, into the rearguard action. His first taste of Serie A action. Wearing the number 4 shirt, Montanari. As Trevor was saying, Riccardo Ferri out through injury today.
Yes, Orrico has obviously got a high regard for Montanari. Not a player that I'm familiar with, but when you consider that Battistini, an Italian international himself, who sat on the substitutes bench, could have played at the back for Inter, he obviously rates Montanari very highly.
Well, he had it with his previous club, Lucchese. So he's obviously knows all about him from there. And he's given him his opportunity in the starting lineup. And there he was there with that pass, looking for Fontolan. Well read though by Ferrara. Now, Zola. Block to Pacheco. Pacheco, who was in the starting lineup for 3 of the first 4 games for Napoli, but then had to settle for a place on the bench. Matthaus. This is Bianchi, who's been a very consistent performer for Inter. Bianchi over the past couple of seasons. More than that, really. He was in their championship winning side too. As of course was this man, Walter Zenga. Pacheco finding Alamao. Now what can Pacheco do here? Not too much. Well read then by Montanari, who started confidently. To throw. 15 minutes into the first half, still Inter 0, Napoli nil. This match featuring two of the teams up there at the top of the table. These pictures coming to you live from the San Siro. Away by dell'Inter-Napoli. Crunching challenge by Bianchi. Both teams playing with a lot of vigour, a lot of purpose. Klinsmann, who recently signed this new 4-year contract. After suggesting a short while ago that he was thinking about packing it all in, giving up football altogether. He's had a change of heart.
Can't believe Berti's reaction there. He's definitely got a problem, hasn't he?
Well, it just doesn't seem to be able to control his temperament. It's a pity, because he is an excellent player. Italian international, of course.
He has to be careful, because as we've seen on many occasions, Italian referees are very, very severe on any form of dissent. It's already been booked.
I think the word will be from the bench for him to calm down a bit. Now, Poscedo. Looking for Alamao, who got forward well, but Bianchi able to clear. There's Corrado, out-jumped though by Klinsmann. Now Matthaus. Free kick to Inter. And it is a bit of a testing time for Corrado Orrico, the coach of Inter. They've won only one of their last 4 matches. There's a bit of pressure on him from the fans, although I understand the Inter management are standing by him. No question of them having a change of heart at the moment. Orrico, of course, following in the footsteps of the great Trapattoni. So, as we were saying with Zola at Maradona, it's a very hard act to follow for Orrico. He intends to do things his way, and he will continue to do so, he says, whatever anybody thinks. And let's swap the team around a little bit, trying to find the right formation. Montanari. There's Bergomi, now then for Brehme. Bergomi, who seems to have lost his place in the national side, at the moment anyway. So maybe there's now a question mark against his excellent international career. Great servant to club and country, Bergomi. Now Corrado getting involved with the referee.
Yes, it seems that Bergomi's been around for ages, but still only 27. I think he seems to have been around for ages because he played in the '82 World Cup when he was so young.
Yes, he was an 18-year-old then. But Ferrara is now in the Italian side, the Napoli defender and captain. But as I was saying earlier on, it'll be very interesting to see the lineup that the new coach Saki goes for when the first Italian squad under him is announced. Zola, who's hoping to be in it. Alamao. There's dell'Inter-Napoli, current international. But maybe he'll be one of the players whose place will be under threat. We'll just have to wait to see what's in the mind of Arrigo Sacchi. Alamao's cross, only Corrado in there though.
Wasn't a bad cross either. Just fortunate that they've just had the one player there, Corrado. Need to get more bodies into the penalty box. That always seems to be the way in Italy. You look at sides and you think, well, you know, they must keep getting players forward into those areas, but they never seem to arrive.
Brehme's throw, combining with Matthaus. Baggio. He was lucky to get that one back again. Baggio got his first goal for his new club at Canary last season, last Sunday rather. Here's Bianchi now. Almost at the halfway point in the first half. Not really too many chances so far. A lot of fairly frenetic action out there.
I feel that Inter are having a problem with the formation that Napoli are playing. They've swamped the midfield. And the emphasis on Inter to try and get some of their back players forward. The likes of Paganin and Brehme in full-back positions, they've got to try and push on a little bit. Try and give the midfield a little bit more support. At the moment, they're continually playing with 4 at the back. It's not easy for the Inter midfield. They are being outnumbered.
Napoli, who've had to rebuild the side, of course, without Diego Maradona. And they had a fair run towards the end of last season, and they've continued in that vein. But it was a clear setback for them last week, losing at home to Juventus. So they're pretty desperate to pick up at least a point today. Berti. There's Napoli. Now then to Poscedo. Montanari. Well, it was a very casual pass sent by Montanari. Brehme claiming the ball didn't cross the line, but whether it did or not, I don't think he'll have been too pleased with the pass anyway from Montanari, who was exuding confidence early on, but let himself down then. His first game, remember, in the senior side, indeed in Serie A. First game that he started anyway. Zola. Fontolan got a foot hit no first. Now Berti riding the tackles with that long, loping, familiar stride of his. Now Bianchi. Berti's pulled into the middle. Oh, Bianchi's pulled up. It looks like a hamstring.
Yes, quite clearly is a hamstring there. That is a problem. He'll take no further part in this game.
Well, that was quite dramatic then. Bianchi, just when Inter seemed to be in full flow too. They got 2 or 3 waiting on a cross from Bianchi, and he suddenly held back then in obvious pain. And it does indeed look like a hamstring. So a problem here for Inter. We've got Desideri, the former Roma player, on the bench. So maybe they'll think about using him as a replacement, if indeed Bianchi can't carry on. And it does look a rather nasty injury for him. The way he suddenly pulled up then, and there's Bianchi getting a warm round of applause from the crowd. He's featured so prominently for Inter in recent seasons, as I was saying earlier on, and they can ill afford to lose him with his persistence on the right flank. And the referee just waiting for Desideri, indeed it is, to make his entrance. So all sympathies are with Bianchi. And on comes Desideri, who's in fact scored 3 times since joining Inter at the start of the season. So he's the leading goal scorer. But he can't get in the starting lineup, which may be a bit of a surprise, Trevor.
Yes, I was surprised that he wasn't starting. Just wondering if Orrico was going to be brave enough to actually make a tactical change, because it was quite clear that he was having problems with the formation that Napoli had adopted. I don't know how much it'll change things now. Obviously, they've got an extra midfield player now in the central area, but they're still lacking a little bit of width that Bianchi gives them. I think it's up to Paganin to try and press forward as often as he can.
Now this is Poscedo pressing forward for Napoli. Too long though for Zola, but here's Crippa. And Napoli have ushered players forward here in this attack. Brehme almost turned back into trouble. And then we're a free kick to Inter for the tackle on Brehme. 25 minutes into the first half. No goals. Inter having lost a player in Bianchi. Desideri, wearing 14, certainly has taken up a position in the central midfield area, which is where he plays normally. And did so to good effect for Roma too, before his move to Inter. So he was a useful signing. Zola. And Paganin taking no chances. Spectacular overhead kick in by Zola. He's full of tricks, full of surprises. Napoli now. Here's Alamao. And no problem for Zenga. The flag was up anyway. And a wake up Inter with Matthaus, the playmaker. All caught in possession then by Corradini, who was a pretty fearsome tackler. Gets through a lot of hard work for Napoli, Corradini. And Montanari with a robust challenge on Corrado.
Yes, and Matthaus, I think, just thanking him there for that tackle, because he put him in a little bit of trouble. Just a little bit too casual there. Faced against 2 against 1. Lost possession in the wrong area.
Corradini's pass, and Brehme had strayed offside. But having weathered that early storm, maybe Napoli now are beginning to show some confidence themselves. But no question, they've come here thinking that a point would suit them. An extra one would be a real bonus. Just 1 point at the top of the table, remember, dividing the first 6 teams before the start of the latest round of matches today. Fontolan, they all had a go at him. Now Brehme with the free kick. Here's Brehme. And Alamao. All the way back to his goalkeeper, Galli. Galli, who won so many honours, of course, with Milan. Corrado springing onto the return pass, and I think that was out of play then. Inter hoping this season to repeat their championship success of '89, when Trapattoni was in charge. Napoli, of course, have won 2 titles in recent seasons. Indeed, they succeeded Inter as the title holders back in 1990.
A little bit disappointed this afternoon, the level of skill. Such normally high standards with Italian league games. I think possibly the pitch is playing a part in it. Doesn't seem to be too flat, 1 or 2 uneven bounces. But the standards are still normally very, very high. A bit disappointed this afternoon, Peter.
Yeah, I think I'll go along with that so far. But there do seem to be some uneven bounces on the surface, which has had its problems in the past. And of course, it's a very competitive game out there. 2 totally committed teams, desperate to maintain their challenge at the top of the table. Here's Matthaus now. Half an hour gone in the first half. Matthaus with the free kick. Looking for Berti. It was Pescedo who thumped it clear. Bergomi.
That was the type of long ball last season that Matthaus was looking for Serena. I just feel that they miss his height and heading ability in forward positions. They've linked Fontolan with Klinsmann. Doesn't really seem to be the answer. They also bought, of course, Ciocci, who can't get a regular starting position. He's only on the bench. They've let Serena move on. Just wondering if they come to regret that now.
Yes, the aerial passage to goal was so often a threat for Inter when Serena was playing for them. Not only a goal scorer, a prolific scorer too, he was a goal maker. All the knockdowns for the players coming through, and indeed for Klinsmann. Of course, Klinsmann, as we mentioned earlier on, Trevor, hasn't scored yet, so maybe that underlines the point. Anyway, here's Desideri now, and he has scored 3 times for Inter this season. Well, that might trouble the goalkeeper of Galli's class. Now Zola, trying to get something started for Napoli here. Corradini's return pass left him with a lot to do, though. Alamao, cleverly done, till he ran into Fontolan. But it's been untidy in patches, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, just look how many players Inter have got in defensive areas. In the radius of 10 yards there, they had 5 defenders.
Klinsmann racing onto this one. He has tremendous pace, of course, Klinsmann. But outwitted by Pescedo. Now to Napoli. Pescedo. Only Orrico, though, as a target man. I don't think he'll get away from Bergomi. But again, they're crowding that midfield area, Napoli, and leaving really no support for Orrico. Zenga, so far, has had relatively little to do. No foul, is it? Yes, the referee's given it now for the challenge on Ferrara. So Claudio Ranieri hoping his team can press home the advantage they've got from this free kick now. Zola is there, but leaving it for Pescedo to take, and Zenga had to beat it away. All eyes were on the players waiting in the middle, and Pescedo really extended Zenga then. Now Fontolan. Klinsmann was just onside, but shot whipped in by Klinsmann, and Galli couldn't hold it. So suddenly both goalkeepers occupied in the space of 60 seconds or so. Corner then to Inter. Desideri to take the kick. Alamao as Napoli spring quickly out of defence. Orrico now. 3 streaming through the middle. But Napoli has to go a long way to fetch the pass. Pescedo. Given away by Baggio. Now Zola. And Zenga, well, just about holding on. But a very consistent goalkeeper, of course, Walter Zenga. Pescedo. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Alamao. Napoli looking to raise their game here. Zola with Pacheco. Zola just needed a touch, didn't get it. And Montanari will guide the ball back to Zenga. Inter, whose only defeat so far was away to Storia, but a pretty heavy one. They lost 4-0. So both sides with just a one defeat in Serie A so far in this campaign. And just looking at the top of the table, Trevor, it is very, very tight up there, isn't it?
Yes, not too many points separate the top 8 teams. In fact, Parma, who are in 8th position, just 2 points below Milan. We're of course playing at Bari today.
And that'll go away for a corner. It's of course just below Parma Sampdoria. I think we can expect that to reassert themselves after 1 or 2 setbacks for them. Desideri taking the corner, Fontolan, and it was taken off the head of Bergomi then by goalkeeper Galli. Only Corrado to aim at up front. And it's so hard for Corrado today in that lone role, ploughing a lone furrow. Very little support. Now Berti going on here. Klinsmann. Down he goes, and the referee just turned away. In fairness, there were no protests from the Inter players, only from the crowd. But Napoli a little fortunate to survive then. Tempers getting a little heated up there. Alamao. Now dell'Inter. There's Pacheco. Finding dell'Inter, who was left out of the side on the opening day of the season, but he's back in there now. So even being an international doesn't guarantee you an automatic choice. Brehme to tidy up for Inter. This is Paganin. Excellent control then by Klinsmann. Outnumbered in the end though. And well run back. Klinsmann. There's Corrado. Misunderstanding though with Crippa. Free kick to Inter. Take it quickly, Desideri. Tremendous noise around the stadium. The supporters of Inter doing their best to lift their team. The fans who've travelled up from Naples hoping to do the same with theirs. Napoli now. There's Alamao. But he was crowded out, and Fontolan getting back well. Paganin, Desideri rather. There's Paganin now. Vigorous challenge this time. It'll be a free kick to Inter. Foul by Blanc, a French international defender, Napoli. what you call close marking.
Yes, and the defender then complains to the referee as he's given a free kick.
Well, Fontolan is back on his feet. And Trevor Francis knows what it's like to receive that sort of attention from defenders who don't want you to have the ball. Matthaus curled in. The header flashing wide there. Klinsmann was very unlucky. And he must have thought then he'd scored his first goal of the season. A German combination very nearly producing a goal. Corrado. Oh, that's great skill then by Corrado. Just too many of them in the end. Now, Matthaus galloping away, taking on Francini, and he's got clear. And Galli had to save with his legs. Superb run then though by Matthaus, reminding us just why he's regarded as a top player in Europe, maybe the world too. Great run, Trevor.
Yes, that's the highlight of the first half. Terrific positive run from Matthaus. Put the ball around Francini, went past him for pace. I think he must have thought twice about actually falling over to try and get the penalty, but he kept his feet. And it was Galli actually who thwarted him, stopping the ball with his foot. But a good positive run from Matthaus, and that's probably the nearest Inter have been to scoring.
3 minutes to go in the first half, and Matthaus, the closest really then to a breakthrough for Inter. Denied by the experience of Galli, who stood his ground, perfectly positioned. But Napoli hanging on. It's a foul then by Berti, who I'm sure will contest it, he normally does. Referee just walking away. Here's Berti. Yeah, I thought so. He didn't agree.
It's terribly frustrating for players in the penalty box because the slightest bit of physical contact, the referee immediately gives a free kick.
Corrado. Alamao. There's Corrado. Lost out though. Zola can't win it back. And here's Fontolan. Brehme. Now Berti. Got away from the first tackle. But in general, in this first half, defences have been on top. Certainly neither side slow to reinforce their defences by pulling players back. And it's a game that hasn't really flowed so far, Trevor.
No, it's difficult, isn't it? Because Napoli have come to nullify the Inter midfield by putting so many numbers there. They're not really looking to win the game. Instead, if Inter want to win it, they've got to come and try and attack and try and score goals and then create one or two spaces at the back so that Napoli can capitalise on it. But really, it's been a very poor first half.
Well, there's Matthaus.
Just wondering if Orrico, the Inter manager, would do anything half-time to try and change things. He's got Ciocci on the bench. I think it would certainly help the likes of Fontolan and Klinsmann if they would have given him a little bit more support with Ciocci.
It certainly hasn't helped, of course, losing Bianchi, who does give into width on the right. But here's Matthaus now. Galli having to fist it away. The last few seconds of the first half. Fontolan was onside. But Galli's handling has been excellent in the first half. Very reassuring last line of defence for Napoli.
His footwork wasn't too bad either when he stopped that one from Matthaus.
Absolutely. Baggio caught in possession. I think it was fouled anyway by Corrado. So we're into time added on for injuries. And there was a delay, of course, in particular for the injury to Bianchi. Another free kick. And the first half has been littered with them. Foul on Fontolan. Hoping to prove himself in this Inter side.
So congested in the centre of the field. Inter have got to try and get a little bit more width. As you say, they're unfortunate they don't have Bianchi. They must try and get Brehme and Paganin into the area where he is now a lot more often.
Well, there is Paganin indeed with the cross. Too many Napoli defenders back there to make any real impact. And that'll be a free kick. As the referee brings play back. Crippa. Here's Zola. Hasn't had too many opportunities to show his undoubted skill, Zola. INTER-Napoli in that congested midfield area. Zola threading it on to Alabao. But the danger quickly passes. We've had now approaching 2 minutes of injury time. Here's Desideri. Straight to block. Now Crippa spreading the play well. And his block going forward. And he certainly has an eye for goal. Block with 14 for Montpellier last season in the French league. Indeed, he was the top scorer for his club. Hasn't scored yet though for Napoli. Alabao. Now Crippa. Zola on for Crippa. Bergomi with a clattering tackle. So the first half almost over, Trevor. Just to sum up your feelings on the first 45 minutes.
A bit disappointing, really. It's only to be expected because of the tactics that Napoli have adopted. I think the emphasis on Inter now to try and change things a little bit. And I would like to see Orrico try and be a little bit more adventurous. Yeah, he must try and win this game, and I think if he was to bring Ciocci on, it would certainly help matters.
Thanks, Trevor. So no goals in the first half. Who had his work cut out really in the first 45 minutes, keeping a check on things. One or two rather ragged tackles that he had to deal with. But we haven't had a goal yet. Matthaus certainly coming the closest for Inter. A couple of strikes, and that, including that superb run of his. And it was Galli to the rescue for Napoli, who themselves haven't created too much to bother Zenga at the other end. Corrado perhaps really the closest to scoring a goal for Napoli with that free kick. That might just have caught Zenga out. Alabao down for Zola. Off goes Klinsmann, herring after this one with Francini. Alabao. And Montanari's clearance came back off the Brazilian. But I wouldn't think, Trevor, we're going to see any change of style, any change of tactics really from Napoli.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I think it's, you know, at the top of the programme, we spoke about, you know, perhaps Boskov losing his job at Sampdoria, which incidentally I don't think will happen because having worked for Mantovani, the president, he's a very, very loyal man. There's no way that will happen. But it's a fear factor in Italy. The problem is, like Ranieri, his team lost last week against Juventus at home. He's frightened of losing 2 in succession. And that's why he's come here with such a defensive approach to this game, playing with just Careca in a forward position.
Well, here's Berti now for Inter. Block coolly away. He does look a very composed figure, Block. One of Michel Platini's much revitalised French team, of course, who've qualified for the European Championship finals. Crippa with Zola. Neat skill there. Now Crippa. Only Corrado in there, inevitably. And there's just no support for it. It arrives now, though, in the shape of Alamau, and he's given away to Matthaus. Now Inter driving forward with Berti and Fontolan. And that's a foul by Ferrara. What have you made of Fontolan so far, Trevor?
Well, it's so difficult to judge, isn't it? Because they're left isolated in forward positions. They don't get enough close support to them. You know it.
Another yellow card to Napoli.
As we've seen so many times in Italian football, all of a sudden, like, you know, he can turn on a bit of magic, score an outstanding goal, and he becomes the man of the match. So I don't think you can actually write him off at this moment, but I do feel he needs a little bit more support.
Napoli talked himself into the referee's book, and I think if he'd continued that argument much more, he might have been sent off. Spot of dissent from Napoli has earned hit the yellow card. And here's Brehme then with the free kick for Inter. Now Matthaus did so well that to withstand the tackle from Zola. Now Fontolan saved. Can't turn it in. Berti. Zenga's all over the place. The whistle's gone. Whistle's gone.
The agony of Berti, but I think he realises that it was out.
He knew. Forced wide, and the whistle had gone by then before Berti turned it in. But it was Galli who once more kept Napoli in this match. Another excellent stop by him, with players from Inter converging on him. Corrado in trouble now. Now the play's going on without him. Got a kick then from Paganin, and now play has been held up, and Corrado can receive some attention.
Just returning to Fontolan, I would think that perhaps one or two keen Inter supporters would be a bit disappointed in his performance, taking into account, of course, that they paid £3 million for him from Genoa. You could say that for a player costing that much, you expect a little bit more.
Now Corrado is okay to continue. He's been around the top two divisions, Corrado. This is his 8th club in the top 2 flights. Helping Verona to promotion last season. Now Block.
I think Verona could do with them this season, Peter, the start they've made.
Crippa's pass. Yes, Verona down there, what, 4th to bottom at the moment.
Yes, and losing at half-time against Lazio.
Now Brehme trying to combine with Fontolan. There's Matthaus now. Matthaus going on. Matthaus for the shot. And Galli once more was there. And Galli's role is increasingly becoming more and more significant in this game. Berti. Well, sent by Klinsmann to Fontolan. He hasn't scored yet for Inter, but my word, he nearly did that. must have heard you talking about him.
Yes, I just had a little smile because I think 2 minutes ago I said he could do something absolutely outstanding and be the man of the match. That was a cracking volley. Fortunately, just couldn't keep it down.
Well, he almost became the hero of one half of Milan then, the Inter half. But it was not to be, and Napoli are still in there fighting. Corrado. He has such outstanding close control, Corrado. De Napoli, Alamao. Always a threat that Napoli might pinch one on the break. And Zenga made that one look easy. Klinsmann. No joy though for him on that occasion. And there's Blanc. The early ball in search of Alamao.
Just prior to that effort from Fontolan, we saw once again a great driving run from Matthaus. Went for the 1-2, received it, got in a good shot. It's a good save from Galli. If ever a player deserves to score this afternoon, it's Matthaus. He's been quite outstanding in the midfield for Inter.
There's no question at all, when the three Germans are firing on all cylinders for Inter, they can be a very, very effective side. There's Klinsmann, now then with Berti. Crippa. Had an excellent match, Crippa, for the Italians in their goalless draw against the Soviet Union. Such a disappointing overall night for them. Is Corrado trying to force an opening?
Trying to force an opening, but as he was dribbling the ball there, his angle was getting worse and worse, and really, from that sort of angle, you can't hope to score.
Well, he's managed 4 goals, Corrado, in this early part of the season, but only 9 in the last campaign. I think that's the first time he's failed to reach double figures since coming to Italy. And of course, he has been a major force for Napoli in their triumphs of recent seasons. 2 championships and the UEFA Cup too. And indeed, they were the last Italian side to achieve the League and Cup double, Napoli, back in '87. Well, sort that one out. Francini, the Napoli player. And Klinsmann got a foot in the face then. Well, Klinsmann's okay, but Francini, who certainly went crashing down, wants some treatment there.
Yes, I think Klinsmann turned blindly, unaware of Francini. Quite accidental, I would have thought, Peter, but it appears that Francini's come worse off.
He has another problem for the coach, Claudio Ranieri, former Cagliari coach, who took over from Albertino Bigon. Ten minutes into the second half. And Napoli just giving the ball back in the traditional sporting fashion to Inter. De Napoli with Crippa. Good tackling back then by Baggio. Baggio, who came from Torino back in the summer. In fact, is on loan from Juventus, part of the Trapattoni deal. Now Blanc with Corrado. And he had Alamao stretching, and he looked daggers then at Corrado for the pass, which didn't give him too much chance. Fontolan trying to turn away from Corradini. There's no time really for anyone to settle on the ball, no time to dwell on it at all.
You're quite right, there's a lot of early pressing, but I think the passing has not been of such a standard that we expect. saw there Baggio, just a simple 20-yard ball to Desideri. Played a little bit too far in front of him. Saw the ball just tamely go out for a throw-in.
Even Matthaus there making a mess of his forward pass. A player normally so accurate, of course, with his distribution. Matthaus went down there. A little tap on the ankles. And Corrado is going to have his name taken now. And Matthaus felt the full brunt of that tackle then from Corrado, who followed right through. And in fairness to Matthaus, some players, Trevor, do make a meal of it, but I think that was fair enough. He caught him there.
Yes, but really a silly booking, because in the centre of the field like that, Matthaus is going nowhere, just laying the ball off. A real silly booking, unnecessary.
Desideri with a free kick. Very strange. Now Matthaus feeding Klinsmann. Now, does he have the pace here to get away from those Napoli defenders? No, not this time, but he's won the throw. Block to Alamao. Now, Corrado, who's just received then the yellow card, but now has been awarded the free kick. Zola. Now then to INTER-Napoli with Corrado. Here's Crippa. Napoli still not committing too many players forward in this attack. Maybe just as well. They could get caught here by the pace of Klinsmann. Brehme on then for Klinsmann, who'd got clear. And Block was very composed as he made that interception. He always looks totally unruffled, doesn't he, Block?
Yes, I was just wondering when he was going to appear there, because it looked for one moment that it was very, very bad defending from Napoli. Klinsmann found himself in a bit of space. He arrived just at the right moment.
Well, I suppose all the great defenders put it down to timing. And Block knew exactly what he was doing then. Desideri with Klinsmann. There's Francini.
Once again there we saw the ball played forward to Klinsmann. Very, very poor first touch.
Well, we've mentioned the surface not being too clever. Maybe it's worse out there than we think. Certainly there has been some untidy play from both teams. Baggio trying to find Fontolan. There's Block. We've said it many times before, I'll say it again, it's a game that needs a goal. Certainly needs a spark of life from somewhere. A little bit more imagination from the players. If either team really are to break this deadlock here. One from Corrado, but as ever, he's a lone figure really. Now, Baggio. Again, it was a clumsy pass from Baggio. Foul on Zola.
And if you caught there, Napoli trying to urge his defenders to push forward from the back. I don't know if his manager Ranieri will be too pleased with that. I think if they get the 0-0, which he's come for, he'll be absolutely delighted. Nothing worse than Italy losing 2 games in succession.
Yes, it will cost you your job.
It makes life very, very uncomfortable for a week. It's almost a crisis, 2 games, losing 2 on the trot.
With some teams giving away a corner's a crisis. Paganin. Trevor Francis is going to have a good week, though. His team won, of course, Sheffield Wednesday, beating Manchester United, no less, at Hillsborough. And I think you're pretty proud of that performance, Trevor.
Yes, it'll be a better week next week if we beat Southampton on Wednesday in the Cup and then Spurs in the league on Saturday.
That'll suit you nicely. Well, neither team look like winning this one at the moment. Inter 0, Napoli 0. 2 of the top teams in Serie A, but they haven't really produced football of the highest quality, one has to say. Brehme, the crowd certainly becoming a little restless, understandably so. Another slip, Paganin. Zola for Napoli. Now Zola. Ferrara. Napoli. Zola running one tackle and then appeared to be balked.
No, I don't think so. I think that was a good decision by the referee. Quite clearly, Zola had overplayed the ball, decided that he'd run into Bergomi and try and get the free kick. The referee was aware of that.
He's had a good match, the referee. He's kept play going whenever he can, but he's certainly had to put it up on quite a few occasions for silly tackles, silly fouls given away by both teams. Brehme. Crippa. Now Corrado, who's come deep. Francini, very optimistic from there. And there was a meaty collision, but fortunately both players straight back on their feet again. Now Klinsmann with Baggio, and that was well read again then by Block. Very phlegmatic figure at the back for Napoli. And he's certainly been a successful signing, the third foreign player, of course, along with 2 Brazilians, Corrado and Alemão. Block taking over from Maradona. Now Matthaus again driving through the midfield. It's Fontolan, flags up. Offside. That must have been close.
Yes, but I think that Matthaus would be very, very annoyed with Fontolan there. He's made a good driving run through the centre. He was always looking to pass it to Fontolan. Really should be looking along the line to try and stay onside. It was a good situation there for Inter, and really Fontolan should have allowed him to have got himself offside. But once again, at the heart of the movement was Matthaus.
Yes, he's the one player who really has impressed again out there. Some sloppy play around him. And Matthaus rising above it all at times with some superb play, driving through from the midfield. But another opportunity has gone for Inter, and you wonder how many more they're going to be allowed by a Napoli side who've set their stall out to defend, really. Soak up the pressure and maybe, just maybe, catch Inter on the rare breakaways that they manage. Brehme. This is Montanari, who hasn't done badly on his first full game in the side. And the crowd whistling now. They want Inter to push forward and to further extend Napoli. Matthaus searching out Fontolan, and Block is very casual then. Well, I praise him for his coolness, but he was too cool then. Galli won't thank him for it. Corradini. Here's Brehme. Now Baggio to Brehme. So often Inter profit from his crosses from this left flank. They got the other way now. Paganin. Now what can Baggio do here? Faced by a packed Napoli defence, a wall of red-shirted defenders. And that's Ferrara, not really getting clear. And Berti might have made more of that if he'd been able to control it. Wasn't the best of clearances from Ferrara. Napoli. Now, here's an opportunity for Napoli. Zola leading the charge. He's got Alamao inside him, and Pescedo away to his left. Still Zola. On the right here is Crippa. Good tackle though by Brehme. Now can they stretch Napoli here? Not like that they won't. Napoli doing well. It was an important interception by him. Zola. Blanc had started to make a run through from the back, but thought better of it. He's gone back. Corrado now with Zola. Too easily broken up though. But then Alamao wins it back. Good tackle there. Montanari. Down he goes. No foul. And I think the referee was absolutely right again. Lost trouble what he thought in a moment. But here's Alamao. Too long for Zola. And a fall here for Crippa. Zenga's furious. And he didn't worry as the shot went harmlessly wide. And Ranieri's team making a rare excursion forward then in numbers. But Inter thought they deserved a free kick.
No, there's nothing wrong with the challenge. Montanari was too slow in his delivery. He had a player on the outside of him. He should have delivered it much quicker, held on to it and invited the tackle. It was a good challenge.
Shedu. Outsmarted though by Paganin. Klinsmann. That's a foul. That was a pretty awful tackle by Corradini, who's had a yellow card. And if they'd stop protesting, maybe the referee could have a word with Corradini. And what about that challenge then, Trevor? Whistle's gone. Berti pleads his innocence.
Well, quite clearly the Inter players are protesting because, as you say, he's already been booked, Corradini, and they're trying to get him sent off. That's not something I like to see. I think that it was a bad foul, but you don't like to see a player like that getting sent off.
Matthaus now. A shooting opportunity almost opened up for him. Well, it's a corner. It could have been more serious. And he continues to be a constant thorn in Napoli's flesh. In fact, it's a goal kick.
Yes, Matthaus certainly frustrated there because it was a good shot with the outside of his foot. Don't know whether it was going in, but from the reaction from Matthaus, it appeared to be on target. It was his own player Berti that blocked it.
Now Klinsmann turning away from Francini. Pescedo, foot was high then from Paganin. And the two players sportingly just shaking hands out of your picture there. But now Crippa. Napoli.
It's okay, Paganin sportingly shaking hands, but if Napoli had raced through there and scored, I don't think Orrico would have been too pleased with him.
Fair point, fair point.
You can shake hands after the game.
Montanari. This is Baggio. Asking a lot of Klinsmann, but we have seen what acceleration he has. And it was certainly a test for Francini, the Napoli defender. Paganin. Doesn't seem comfortable when he's got time to play the ball, Paganin. I think the crowd sense it too. Brehme was so quickly closed down then by Zola. And there's a break on here for Napoli. Now, Zola might have made more of that. Disappointing finish to a promising run.
Yes, Crippa made a great, what must have been 50-yard run to get into a good position. Zola delayed it. Really, it was a good opportunity lost there for Napoli.
Desideri, Berti, and just nipped off his toes then by Francini. What an important tackle. Away goes Brehme. Berti thought he was in at the other end.
He would have been in if his first touch was better. That was a great goal-scoring chance there. He needed close control on his first touch, and then his second touch would have set him up for the shot.
Yep, I'd have fancied T. Francis in his prime to have scored that one. Well, even now, sorry.
I don't know about scored it, but I definitely would have controlled it.
Right. Berti racing clear. Now Matthaus sliding into the path of Klinsmann, who was trying to shake off the attentions of his marker, and to his bitter disappointment, the free kick's given the other way, but he was backing off him then. Corrado. Brehme. Now Crippa, who's worked tirelessly in the midfield area for Napoli. There's Bergomi now, just hoisting it forward. Matthaus. Did well then, Matthaus, to control the ball and find Brehme. The mark of a master craftsman. Klinsmann, terrific turn! He's beginning to look more and more dangerous now, Klinsmann.
Oh, I saw it lucky there. Made a great forward run down into the channel, received the ball, turned his marker well, made the opening. Desperately unlucky that his shot was blocked. That was on his way into the net.
And the crowd beginning now to feel that this is a good spell for Inter, and one that might just produce a goal for them. Matthaus will take the corner. Galli frantically organising the racks ahead of him. The Napoli goalkeeper. That was Brehme who had it clear there. Now Matthaus. Free header away. Not a very good one though. Only as far as Desideri. And that needs no comment from me. Paganin, the offender, which is all you could call him there, really. It's a dreadful shot. And he has looked unhappy, hasn't he, when he's had time?
Yes, he's a player that I know quite well because in my early days at Sampdoria, he was just a young player starting his career there. Played against him many times, he was in the reserves. And you're quite right, his feet, he's not blessed with great ability, I think it's fair to say. And what Napoli have done this afternoon is they've allowed him to have plenty of the ball. They've prevented Brehme from getting forward. Crippa has gone very, very tight on Brehme. And it's really suited Napoli, allowing Paganin to have the ball.
Now, Berti. Well, he was herring through, and he just couldn't control it. And there's so much frustration among the Inter fans, among the players and the coaching staff, as the opportunities start to come their way and they just can't take advantage. And it's just not falling right for Berti, is it?
Well, you could possibly say that, but you know, I thought that was a good chance there. He's made a good, determined run, played his way through 2 or 3 defenders, got himself into a great goal-scoring position. And then, as far as I'm concerned, he just completely miskicked the ball. I think it was a lack of balance, to be honest. He was a little bit off balance, and he lost the opportunity.
Yes, that's what I mean, really, by not going his way. I mean, you make your own luck to a certain extent, and he has certainly had chances, Berti, and his controls let him down. There he goes again. He does create danger, and he does unsettle defenders, because he does go through at such pace.
Yes, I feel that any player who continually makes runs from midfield like he does, they're always going to be a threat. They're very, very difficult to man mark. He's a good athlete, makes some big surging runs into the box. It's a pity really that his control's not a bit better, because if he had that, he would become really an outstanding player. He's still a very, very good player. He's just lacking that little bit of technical ability.
Matthaus, he was caught in possession then. Maybe didn't get a call from a teammate, which he would have liked. Napoli for Napoli. Here's Matthaus once more. Now then to Fontolan. The tackle though by Ferrara. Bergomi, the captain of Inter. This is Montanari. Desideri licking up with Baggio. Napoli once more having to backpedal. Desideri, who does possess an excellent shot. But this time, Galli, well, he'll tell you he had it fully covered. I don't know what he's saying. Probably don't let them score.
No, he's shedding Corrado to get back in defence.
Your Italian's better than mine.
That's the one thing about Italian football. It doesn't matter how you play. I mean, Napoli's performance hasn't been particularly inspiring, but if they were to get a 0-0, it would be regarded in Naples as an outstanding performance.
Yep, that's the point. That's the way Napoli have set out to play this one. Klinsmann trying to guide it on. Poor old Corrado, the Brazilian. I mean, he can't enjoy games like this where he's completely left on his own. I mean, you must have had it too on occasions. It's very, very difficult for a striker, even a player of his class and quality, when there's no support really. In fact, just for once there, Alamao was ahead of him, and that's a very rare occasion. Ten minutes left. Still no goals in the San Siro.
And still no Ciocci. I really felt that the Italian manager, or the Inter manager, sorry, Orrico, would have introduced Ciocci before now.
Yes, there's no sign of another change being made. He had to make that substitution in the first half, of course, when Bianchi went off and Desideri came on. Napoli to take the free kick. Well, Matthaus gives it away. Now Brehme. Bergomi. Inter seeking some inspiration from somewhere to prize this extra point away from Napoli. Lock. Crippa, who's such a determined little player, ran straight into Brehme. Now Alamao. Zola. And the warning signals were out then for Inter as Zola made progress into the penalty box.
Yes, you feel that if he was to get nearer to the penalty box, he would start to cause 1 or 2 problems because he's got such good, tight, close control.
Alamao. It was a ferocious tackle, which he certainly made look pretty awful. And I don't think the referee was too convinced. Certainly knew it was a foul, but maybe didn't like the theatrical dive of Alamao. But here's a test for Zenga in the Inter goal. It's Ferrara there, just taking some refreshment, while Alamao receives some treatment. Zola is there, and we know what he can do from set pieces. Five-six in the war for Inter. And it's a corner. Brehme's shot. Brehme, whose main contribution really has been in a defensive role, with Napoli only playing the one up front. Zola, plenty of time for Brehme. And that, to me, Trevor, has been the disappointment today, that the likes of Alamao and Zola, the really skillful, talented players, we just haven't seen too much of them in a positive role.
No, you're quite right, and that tends to happen in Italy. It's all because of the result last week.
Klinsmann, now Berti! Oh, he's taken it too far. The crowd howling their disapproval, and Berti, he'll be so disenchanted with himself. And that just about sums up his afternoon.
It does really. It's that first touch again, isn't it, Peter, that I was on about? Lets him down on so many occasions. That was another good situation.
Well, that was as good as any he's had, really, Berti, and he's had quite a few. Off he goes again. Magnificent leap, and the referee turns away. And Berti, when he's discovered the referee is paying no attention, may get up, but no, he says he wants someone to have a look at that. But he could have been a match winner so easily for Inter today, Berti. Their international midfielder, who's so often come loping through the middle, but he's been unable to finish it off. But you were saying, Trevor, about the likes of Alamao and Zola, who really just haven't been able to contribute in the way we'd like to have seen from them, but it does happen a lot in Italy. Let's just stay with this attack here.
No, it's because of the result last week. Napoli weren't expected to lose at home to Juventus, and he's put them under extreme pressure. Can't lose 2 on the trot, so they come with a very, very defensive formation.
Well, they still might lose. Brehme's throw, Fontolan, and there's Crippa covering. And he's covered so much ground, Crippa, in this match today. Just caught that by Brehme.
Don't be surprised in the next couple of minutes either that Napoli bring on another defender.
Zola. Corrado. It's a glorious little reverse pass then into Alamao, who's suddenly in the clear. Alamao! That's an own goal off Bergomi. No, the flag's up. Oh, he looks so disappointed. The coach, Ranieri. Or has he given it? Well, there's some confusion here. No, it wasn't given. But just for a moment then. I wonder whether the referee had overruled the linesman. But no, with 4 minutes left, it stays at 0-0. Fontolan. Good block then by Block. What a let-off, though, for Inter. As Alamao almost caught them out. Bergomi, bit of a sloppy pass from him. Well, we're looking today, Trevor, at two teams who will have their sights set on the title. Do you think we're watching a championship team in either Inter or Napoli today?
Well, I would never make a judgment on just one game, but I think that the two sides are probably good enough to qualify for the UEFA Cup, but I don't really see them as being serious championship contenders.
Crippa onto Alamao's pass. Perfectly timed tackle, though, by Brehme. There's still time for either team to clinch the extra point. Brehme. Fontolan, policed by Ferrara. He's had a pretty steady game, Ferrara. Certainly one of the best defenders in the top Italian flight.
No, I feel personally the championship will go to Milan, but not to Inter. They'll be to their neighbours, AC Milan.
So there we are, an early prediction from Trevor Francis. 2 minutes to go. Mind you, he's also tipped Sheffield Wednesday for the League Championship and the World Cup. He's shaking his head alongside me here. Nonetheless, Trevor, you've started very well, and you must be pretty happy with your first season up there at Hillsborough.
Yes, we're all quietly satisfied, but long way to go yet.
Well, there's not too long to go in this game. It's almost over, and it looks as if it's heading for a goalless draw. Unless something fairly dramatic happens right at the death. And you can see there from your pictures a lot of fans streaming out of the stadium. And no question at all that Coach Ranieri of Napoli will be the happier of the two men in charge. Into the last minute now then. Corrado for Zola. Frantic clearance, only finds Blanc. Oh, Matthaus now, streaming clear for Inter. He had Fontolan up in support, and Klinsmann was there. And all he's got out of it is a throw. And an injury too, by the look of things. Just holding the back of his leg. So let's hope that's not too serious. Up goes Klinsmann. Didn't quite fall, though, for Baggio.
I think Matthaus got the same problem as what Bianchi had earlier. A hamstring strain.
Now here's Corrado, bursting away for Napoli. Alamao and Crippa, the only players up with him. Crippa chasing. And that's steady defending then by Montanari, who can look back with some satisfaction on his first full game for Inter. Baggio in bravely. We're now into time added on for stoppages. Napoli. And there is Matthaus indeed receiving some attention on what may well be a hamstring injury. And this may well be Inter's last chance to win the game. Desideri is the player injured. Matthaus still off the field. So it may be down to Brehme here. There's Matthaus, I think, wanting to come back on. No, in fact, he's gone off. And at last, your friend Ciocci's come on. Bit late now, Trevor.
Not if he heads this one in.
Right. So without their organiser-in-chief. Inter have left the free kick, in fact, to Desideri. Almost falls for Fontolan. Corrado just making sure the ball arrives safely back in the arms of Galli. Shadu, no real chance though for Corrado. Brehme. Too easy though for Napoli. We've had 2 minutes of injury time. Now Crippa is onside from Zola's pass, and it needed a better service than that. Ciocci. Desideri. And if he'd have found Klinsmann then, that could have been interesting. Still Inter pressing forward. Ciocci having to chase this one. Fontolan. Forced out by Corrado, who commits the foul. Corrado continues to live dangerously right to the last, having had a yellow card already. Brehme now to whip one in. So often danger stems from his crosses. And Inter are hoping and praying he'll be on the mark again. No, they'll have to take that one again.
I think there'll be a substitution, Peter, any second now.
Yeah, here we are. Right on cue, Padovano is coming on, or will they let him come on? Crippa saying, look, we want to bring a sub on. Standard practice, this. And at last, Padovano makes his entrance. And Brehme will take the free kick. The header from Bergomi is way off target.
That surely must be the last chance for Inter. It wasn't a bad chance either. The marking there left a lot to be desired from the Napoli defence, allowing Bergomi a good head of the ball. That sort of room in the dying seconds.
And it has indeed proved the last chance for Inter. So no goals in the San Siro, and overall a pretty disappointing match really. Inter certainly had chances to win it. In the second half, Berti and Matthaus there, who, well, seems to be walking okay, so hopefully that injury isn't too bad. But Matthaus, in a couple of cracking efforts in the first half, might have won it for Inter. Napoli didn't create too much, but there was that chance for Allenatore, which was ruled out. Final score, Inter 0, Napoli 0.
E mi torno